Good evening, good afternoon, Zelda Speedruns. I hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to some coverage of the Skyward Sword WingClash tournament. This is an any percent tournament. Um, so go fast as possible, no matter what it takes. This is a lower brackets round 3 race, game 2 of a best of 3. It's PippyInATopHat versus Zeldz, and here to tell you all about it are Firework Spinner and Floha. Take it away, folks.
Yeah, going fast is gonna be what we're doing here.
We all
Uh,
aspire to be the fastest link.
yes.
Not the
Uh,
weakest link, the fastest link.
yeah, and hopefully without any crashes.
Yeah, that's probably the good thing that you don't want to have happen.
Yeah, no, crashing would be kind of bad because this game is kind of prone to crash. But hey, our runners just need to do everything fine, and then the game won't crash. That's totally how this works, right?
We don't want to crash, we want to clash. Wing clash.
Yes, exactly. We want to see the clash of those wings.
G2 means game 2. This is a best of 3 series. So currently Pippi is actually up by 1. She won the previous race between these two. And so today, if Pippi wins, she will continue on. If she loses, I believe that they have scheduled a game 3 right after, if needed. So if Zeldz wins, then we will immediately go into a game 3.
Yeah, and something you're immediately gonna realize is that both our runners are playing on the Japanese version of the game because
The
Japanese
Japanese
just
love
has
to be
faster text.
fast.
Yeah, we want to go fast. It actually saves a good 5 minutes or so. Uh,
And not that
over.
much, more like 2 minutes.
Oh, it's only 2 minutes. I always forget the exact amount, but it saves a
2
decent chunk
minutes
of time.
and 6 seconds on average. But yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you guys have been following the speedrun for a while, you know what happens. We're talking to Fledge. We're setting some flags that we're going to be using later. Um, but yeah, both these runners are very good runners. At very respectable times, and so far we have a little bit of desync between the two. Pippi bonked on the door, whereas Zelda did not, so that's a little bit of a slight early lead. But this run could definitely go either way. There are a lot of complex things in this run. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're coming up on the first trick in here. Hey, Skip. Uh,
Pippi
ooh,
missing the jump,
Pippi,
but
Pippi
Zelda's
missing
getting
the
it first
jump.
try.
That's unfortunate. Zeld's got it pretty nicely though. Yeah, we want to jump.
Uh,
And she misses that again, and actually runs into dialogue now. So yeah, we actually wanna avoid the dialogue box there from the professor, and yeah, and Zelt's struggling to jump down there.
Yeah. This run could, like, the very beginning of this run could be a little finicky with movements. I want to say, like, definitely the first half of this run is definitely the most picky when it comes to movement. You have to make sure your angles are right, your button inputs are timed right. This is a very technical run.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, this tournament's going on for a while. We know that these runners are just going to leap off this killing post and just die.
Yeah, dying is something you're gonna be seeing a lot today. Alright, Zeldz is 1 killing post ahead of Pippi. That is a valid time measurement in this speedrun. Don't you dare tell me otherwise.
There are many valid time measurements in the speedrun. Yes, I believe that this is probably the Zelda game where you die the most in an any percent speedrun.
That probably sounds accurate.
So
yeah,
back in
this is back in time. We're
Yeah.
playing on the title screen. Hooray!
Yeah. Yeah, back in time is definitely a powerful tool that allows us to do many things some would consider unnatural. The power of the title screen is the pathway to many things some would consider unnatural.
Yeah, it is indeed a dark power. Have you ever heard the story of Back in Time? I thought not. It is not the story casual players would tell you. Okay, I think that was enough references for now.
No. Definitely not. But no, technically it'd be the story of the one that discovered Back in Time.
All right. Yeah.
Of the Arbiter's
Now
grounds.
we're actually gonna be we're gonna be putting the tablet in here, but I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like we're putting the tablet in here, we're starting our file, and then the tablet is also put in the main game file, and everything just works out, right?
The way I kind of like to think of it is like there's like a point in time where the barrier between the title screen and the main game is like non-existent, so you can just smuggle in that flag of getting the Emerald Pillar. And the game's just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you put that in? Alright, cool. Got it. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There are 3 games in the Zelda series that have Back in Time. Skyward Sword being one of them, the other 2 being Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Although none of them have as many uses as Skyward Sword does.
Ooh, Zeldz missing the Skyward Strike twice. Pippi getting it first try, that definitely gives some time back to her.
Plus also being farther back, making it a little faster to escape.
Yeah, now we're basically synced again.
Yeah, very nice. Very well execution.
It's amazing how much how much something can it's called playing Song of Time. Wow.
I mean, true. All right, fair enough. We do have other methods of going back in time.
I mean, the Zelda series just loves its occasional time travel.
Yeah, if there's anything that any Zelda game needs, it's a form of time travel and a song.
Yeah.
Or an instrument of some sort.
I think Breath of the Wild might be the only 3D Zelda game without any time travel shenanigans.
I mean, there is a 100-year time skip.
Technically, yes. I
And
mean,
you
it
do
does
go
not
back
happen
and
in the
collect your old,
game.
and you go back and collect your old memories.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
As far as the instrument goes, you can whistle. That's your instrument.
That's your instrument. Damn.
And Tears of the Kingdom is going to have like a new rewind feature. So that's going to be interesting. Anyway, back to Skyward Sword.
What is the Skyward Sword? Anyways, you didn't really miss anything. We just
we
did some
got a sword.
Shenanigans. Yeah, we got a sword and we did some crazy things that seem kind of random, but trust me, they'll come in handy later on.
Yeah,
We
at
missed
this point,
okay, I guess that's fair.
Right now, this like little section, this little like 5-minute section or however long it is, this is pretty much the only part where we play the game practically as intended for just a short bit. Like, we usually do get a sword. It's usually not this sword, but we usually get a sword. And we go through this cave and we save our left wing, and we're gonna be doing all that.
Yeah, and we're also managing down here on purpose for a specific reason. Because we want to trigger back in time again very soon.
Yeah, in the game where you die 13 times to activate back in time, you want to keep yourself at low health, so that way you can activate it as soon as you can. And so everybody say hi to Zelda. We won't be seeing much of her this run.
Yeah.
For a game titled The Legend of Zelda, we really do not see much of Zelda.
What is Zelda? What's a Zelda, anyways?
Zelda
wow,
is...
Crystal.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. I see how it is.
For a second, I thought I didn't see the "and" in there, and I thought you just said "firework the idiot." I'm like, hey. Crystal always wakes up and chooses violence.
Yes, Zelda is indeed a misspelling of Zeldz.
Yeah, I mean,
Nintendo was actually thinking of Zeldz when making this game, but they just decided to go with Zelda for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, they're right next to each other on the keyboard, so like that's a pretty accurate mistake. But yeah, so now we are also doing this part pretty much as Dev intended. We're learning how to fly our Loftwing, which is something that we honestly don't do too much in this run. Now I'm thinking about it.
I mean, we kind of are.
I mean,
we never really do back in time.
Flying. We do more diving.
I guess, yeah. We all know that you're the true queen of heat and pressure, Crystal. Nobody can contest you to that.
Do I have enough channel points to summon Trez? Probably not. Nope.
No! Pippi jumped back in!
Pippi got the double
No! She jumped back in.
Well, that means the Zeldz also missed it, so that means we're getting some Donkey Kong, baby!
The double Donkey Kong.
We're getting some Donkey Kong in our Zelda playthrough. For anyone that's curious as to why we're kind of a little upset at this, there's a trick where you can side hop out of a cutscene trigger. You saw it very briefly on Pippi's end. You can side hop out of the trigger and then just jump off a cliff to activate back in time. But unfortunately, there is one frame which Pippi hit, where if you jump opposite the direction you're going in. And when you're mashing the button like 15 times a second, it is very easy to just hop back in the direction that you were wanting to go in. So that is what happened on Pippi's end. Zeldz just missed the trigger to side hop. But yeah. So instead we use a barrel to activate back in time, a la Donkey Kong. And now we're back in time again.
Yeah, and now we're doing a fun thing that is called file duping.
Yeah, pretty much we're just copying the file, but also not copying the file. It's Schrodinger's copy.
Schrodinger's copy. Okay, that's an interesting way.
Like the file's copied, but the UI does not reflect that. And pretty much what this is it allows us to have some properties of a new file, while also still having like all the flags and data from the file that we duped. Which will allow us to perform this nice trick that both our runners are now doing to get into the sky. And be outside the confines of the tutorial.
Yeah, and very important here, we've got our good old friend Fi very soon. After we were just damaging down a little bit in here.
Yep, so now we've unlocked the ability to dive off of our bird. But this is a copy of File 3. We don't even have our bird. Like, realistically, we should not be able to ride our bird right now. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna reclaim the ability to actually, like, ride our bird. But now with the ability to dive off of it. Looks like Zeldz is having a little trouble damaging down.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good on Pippi's end, but doesn't look all that good on Zeld's end, unfortunately. This way can be very annoying in damaging you when you don't want to get damaged, and not damaging you when you want to get damaged.
At this point, I would have just gone to the Octrox personally, but Zeld's finally managing to death warp back. And since it was a copy of File 3 that we were playing on, we are back to where we had saved in File 3, which is here. Now we have the ability to call our bird, we have the ability to dive off our bird, and we have access to the Farron Pillar, which means it's time to get off of Skyloft for a while.
Yeah, and as you're going to be seeing here on Pippi's end, we're actually still in the tutorial, but we already have the ability to jump off of our loft wing, which we're kind of not supposed to do, but we're doing it anyways, and yeah, now we're basically jumping during the tutorial.
Yep. Usually in the tutorial...
completely sequence breaking the game through that.
Yeah, usually in the tutorial there is an invisible wall where Link's Loftwing can't escape, but it only applies to Link's Loftwing. It does not apply to Link himself. So we were able to just ditch the bird and just go all Fortnite style and just skydive.
Where we land?
We're dropping in Farron Woods.
Very good.
Sealed Grounds, rather.
That does seem like a good place to drop off.
Yeah, not much loot, but it's a safe place from other players.
Yeah, now we're coming up at one of the longer back in time sequences.
Not one of the longer, the longest. So yeah, I hope you guys do not like Farron, because we're just gonna skip all of it. Like, we're literally just gonna go through the entire thing. The next time we're free of the title screen, we'll be halfway through the first dungeon already. And you might be thinking, how's that possible? Well, the random acts that we've been doing here and there, entering doors, saving cats, talking to Fledge, all of that is going to be used here now.
Yeah. So first, we're gonna be saving our file at the statue in here.
Yep, because we
You might be
want these
wondering
coordinates.
why are we saving our file at a completely random spot? Just keep it in mind for now. I'll explain it again in like 2, 3, 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's something that seems trivial, but it'll be very useful. And now we're about to do something that has been considered a miracle among glitch hunters in this game, and that is Farron in Back in Time. We are somehow able to take the title screen off of Skyloft and bring it to Farron.
Yeah, we're just taking the title screen on a tour.
Yep. And people may be wondering, like, why do we, but like, why are we going to Farron? We just went to Farron. But with Back in Time, you can see that we are going to be able to progress farther than we normally would be able to if we just kept playing normally.
Yeah, because now we're gonna use all the random stuff that we did, because we're now applying. So what we did on Skyloft was we were actually setting some scene flags, and we're making use of these scene flags now in Back in Time. We're using the scene flags that we set on our run file, and are using them in Back in Time, which sets some other stuff, because these flags share the same memory.
Yep, they unlock special shortcuts for us and allow us to skip certain story elements. And what's a Kikwi? Kikwis don't exist.
They do, just not right now.
Yeah, not in this layer of Farron Woods anyway.
We're just too early. Well, we're too late. We need to go further back in time to. Yeah, I think we're too late. You see, we need to go further back in time to see the Kikwis.
And we can do that later. We can do that in the future. We can go back in time in the future. Yes, that makes total sense. Yeah, so now we just died in Back in Time. For some reason, not all flags that we get activate right away as soon as we enter Farron, or as soon as we select the file. Some have to be activated by reloading the area, so we die. And that allows this vine to be brought down over here. And that skips all of the beginning of Farron. We skip getting the slingshot, we skip meeting the Kikwis. But I think skipping getting the slingshot also locks us out of getting any B-Will item. You know, like every Zelda game, you have items that help you progress through dungeons. You got your bombs, your bow, your mechanical bug beetle. What? And but yeah,
The mechanical bug beetle, my favorite.
Since we do not get the slingshot, which is the first item of that variety, we can't get any because it will crash the game. So we're gonna be going through this entire game without some of the most common items that every Link should have in his arsenal, even the whip.
All right. So yeah, we're just kind of randomly dropping off in Skyview now. Why is that? Well, because what we just performed is called a reverse bit war. Why it's called reverse? Because it's like the reversification. Is that even a word? It's the reverse of like an actual, uh, of an actual bit warp, which we'll get to later. But basically, we are applying the coordinates, which we saved our file at. Ooh!
Oh, that is very bad.
This is.
Oh,
This is a big time loss for Pippy. Ooh,
that is very bad.
that is very bad.
So, as I was explaining, kind of reverse bit warp. We're taking the coordinates from our file, and we're applying it to whatever map we are just entering in back in time as we start a file. So that would apply the coordinates of the Upper Academy statue we saved at to the map that we just entered, which is Skyview. Warping us halfway through the dungeon. But yeah, that jump was very bad.
Zeld's now
because
taking an
Zeldz-
extra save.
Oh no, Zeldz. Okay. Oh, that. Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, that is
Because
really unfortunate.
With that, if you die in that very short section, you have to do this whole thing over again.
That's probably like the biggest time loss you could probably have, like in the run. That is
Zeld's
not an immediate reset.
Zeld's very smartly taking a safety save here.
Yeah.
It's the earliest you can safety save. So, oh, that is so unfortunate for Peppy.
Yeah.
But we still have plenty of other opportunities for the lead to change hands. But it is going to be pretty hard to come back from that one.
Yeah. But this is a best of 3 series, and Pippy is leading with 1-0 for right now. So even if she loses this race, she's got the chance to make it all good in game 3.
I'll be honest, full disclosure, I might have jinxed it. I was saying before the race that I personally did not think there was going to be a game 3. I thought Pippy would have this. But now it looks like we have a very much more interesting race.
Yeah, if it comes to game 3, you can bet that Pippy is not gonna underestimate that spider.
Yeah, that spider, it catches you off guard at the worst times.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to just jump past it, but if you just don't pay too much attention, then it can just easily catch you off guard and kill you and lose you like 3 minutes.
And I will say it also is pretty hard for new beginners. I remember when I first started speedrunning this, that spider ended almost every run.
Yeah.
But that was before we actually had the Skyloft, the Skyview bit warp and file duping and all that. We actually had this. We actually got the slingshot and the beetle.
Yeah.
Also H.
Zeldz inserting the H.
Everyone in the chat is legally required to post H. If you do not, the ZSR police will come for you. We know
Oh damn. Trez is gonna haunt you in your dreams.
Yes. Trez will come for you in your sleep.
Well, the police got golden.
Don't worry, you guys will have another chance at redemption. You can redeem yourself in another couple minutes. Let this be a warning. Nah, it's fine. Nobody's legally required to post H, but it is very fun to post H.
All
Even
right.
though our file name is G. Don't worry about that.
Zeldz in the G1 fight. I haven't looked at it all that much. I don't know how many darts he's already got.
I want to say he has had like I think that's his third, maybe, or fourth. So it was pretty unfortunate.
All right, Pippi back in Skyview almost.
Yeah. So Zeld's the whole second half Skyloft and G1 fight ahead of Pippi. That is an accurate time measurement in this game.
Yeah.
Some people are just beyond redemption.
That is true. All right.
Not everyone can have their own recovery arc.
All right, Pippi back in the Zelda fight.
And Zeldz is now going up to get his ruby tablet. At this point, I always like to say the entire reason why we go to Faerun is just to get to Eldin, and the only reason we go to Eldin is to get to Lanayru.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, that Boko really wanted.
The Boko is like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Oh my god, look at this. Okay. Yeah. She definitely went for the safety strat in there.
Pippi, please save after this.
I can't imagine her not saving. That Boko also really didn't want to fall down. She's not actually saving. Okay. Okay.
I'm really not sure that's the best. You could save
I'm scared.
after ropes, but yeah, because in comparison to G1, the spider is much less risky. Yeah, she could save after these swinging on the vines, but we'll see.
I mean, technically, it's like 1 or 2 seconds faster to just go for it when you pass the statue in the first time, because you don't have to go back to the door.
So Zeldz is now going to be reverse bit warping into the goddess statue, so he can place his newly acquired ruby tablet. Very nicely done. And then we will make our way to Eldin. Probably one of the hardest areas of the game. Of the speedrun, anyway.
And she's... okay.
Having a little calibration issues.
She's not saving.
And yeah, no save.
No save, okay? I'm not saying anything. I'm not gonna jinx anything in here, so I'm not saying anything. Okay.
Let's just focus on Zeldz. Let's see, Zeldz has now gotten to Tunic, which is required for exactly 1 instance of back in time later. Yeah, we're gonna be making our way to Eldin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first we're gonna be triggering back in time again.
Yep, just a simple hop, skip, and a jump. Zeldz08 in chat.
Oh, come on, give her him. Two.
Alright, so now we're going to be doing a nice reverse bit warp in Elden. Similar to the reverse bit warp we did to get to the sky view. Except instead of warping halfway through the temple, we're going to be warping halfway through the Elden region. We're also going to be out of bounds. And
Alright.
Thankfully,
Alright.
gets a clean
Pippy
fight.
is safe. Pippy is safe.
That was very risky. I definitely would not have done that. But congrats to Pippy for making it through that fight.
Yeah. I mean, the fight in itself is not all that hard,
but still, one tiny slip up, one tiny desync in your motion controls could definitely.
See, and we saw that she had some calibration issues. That's why I was especially scared.
Well, she got out of Skyview at the same time that Zeldz is landing in Farron to get some decent coordinates for
so
the Elden reverse bit warp.
You might be asking, why is Zeldz in Farron when he wants to go to Elden?
Well, location.
Location, yeah, exactly. Because as Fireworks said already earlier, we need some coordinates if we want to reverse bit warp, and as luck may have it, the coordinates of this stature are just the coordinates that we need to land somewhere in Elden. That's really convenient for us.
Yep. So now Pippy is about to activate back in time to do the same thing, following in Zeld's footsteps here. And Zeld's going for a little trick where you can get some massive speed on your Loftwing.
Ooh, that's kind of...
Yeah, that's I
was fingering that's kind of low. Oh, he still got it, though.
In. Yep. That was very lucky. Yeah, that gives you a large boost of speed, which just shoots you right to the Elden Pillar, which is invisible in Back in Time in this case. But yeah. Now comes probably one of the hardest to execute cleanly parts. But it's still it looks deceptively easy.
Yeah, also the game devs were really they really wanted to give us some nice out of bounds collision here. They were really generous with the out of bounds collision in this game.
Yes. And we are taking full advantage of that, just climbing up this side of an active volcano right next to an active lava flow. As you do.
Yeah, just your everyday adventures.
And this is the part right here. You have to walk along the seam of a very particular piece of collision. And Zeld's getting it cleanly with no step up. That is...
I love to see it.
Rare. Yeah, so Zeld's making that look like a piece of cake when that is much harder than it looks. One wrong step, or if your angle is not right, or if you point upwards too early, then you can just slide
very
right
nice
into lava.
Side hop there.
And very nice jump down. So yeah, that was very clean execution by Zeldz.
Yeah, now all that's left for Zeldz is to break into Earth Temple.
Yeah, don't you usually need a key for that, or?
Who needs a
5
key?
pieces?
Who needs a key? What's a key, anyways?
So what do you mean? Are we just gonna like dig our way in like the magmas, or?
Not quite.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is Skyward Sword. We need to glitch our way in.
Yes. We just we'll just let Earth Temple do all the work for us. We'll just make Earth Temple work for us. That's what we do.
Actually, you know what we could do? We could just like invoke the wrath of the dead by moving a headstone, and they'll just be so angry that they'll just delete the door. I think I like that plan. Let's go with that.
Yeah, they're just so angry they want to suck us in.
So that means that I think that means that canonically the Earth Temple's the Spirit Temple.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that would explain why the Earth Temple is like a crypt in Wind Waker.
I don't know.
So yeah, as I was kind of
You might
alluding
be onto
to,
something in here.
Zeldz is pushing a headstone, which opens a door, which opens this door.
This door.
And we go into Earth Temple.
Yeah, and we'll just completely ignore any KEY requirements.
So now this is the part where things can either go really good or really bad. This is one of the few instances where we actually have like some decent RNG chance here. And that is a little trick known as key seed.
Yeah, Kizit can be very difficult.
So yeah, pretty much we have no projectile to hit a rope that's required to lower this drawbridge, as Zeldz is looking at it right now.
Ooh, this...
And
not
so
quite.
we're just going to angle a skyward strike off of this piece.
The keys is not.
Oh,
Oh, he killed
it. That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. But this gives Pippi time to catch up.
Yes. The keys can be very...
oh, no. Oh, she's stuck.
Maybe we'll get through it. There we go.
Yeah, it's... That's something that can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so Zeldz is gonna try again at this key seat. This is actually very similar in method to a trick that we used to do in the old any percent route, known as Goddess Cube Warp. It's kind of a similar property where we're angling a skyward strike against an enemy at the moment that they are hitting. At which point the skyward strike would hit a target that we otherwise would not be able to hit, and allows us to progress further.
This actually didn't look all that bad. Unfortunately, Zeldz was not ready for the Skyward Strike just yet. Okay, this looks good.
And he's got it.
And he got it. Nice.
Alright, very, very nice second try. And Pippi effortlessly getting the step up. And very clean Elden out of bounds execution for both of them.
Yeah.
And Zeldz is purposely taking damage here. Or maybe not, but either way, it's good to take damage here. We have more back in time shenanigans. So this is usually the second dungeon that you enter in vanilla gameplay. But in any percent, this is the last dungeon that we are going to be entering. Funnily enough.
Yeah. Like, 2 Who needs dungeons?
Send us to the old any percent where we had to do 4 dungeons.
You know, I was still running any percent when we were actually doing all 7 dungeons. Back in the good old days. Back in 2016. You know, that's actually accurate, Golden. In the Skyward Sword speedrunning community, I'm definitely a boomer.
Alright, so we are now going to do a nice trick to get farther by in the Earth Temple. Usually there's a very long section where you have to... Usually you'd have to get the bombs, which we can't, because we would crash. And then we would need to use the bombs to get to this giant boulder rolling section, where we raise a bridge to continue. Obviously, we do not have time for that. Yeah.
Alright, Pippy's coming up on Keyseed. Let's see how she fares. Getting the first cutscene skip in here, nice. Now she's gonna wait for the keys. There it is. Ah, not quite. Keys doesn't really want to cooperate.
And of course, when you get a good angle...
Yeah, when you get a good angle, the Skyward Strike runs out. Ah.
So this is exactly the reason why I don't do key seat. And
ooh, nice.
finally getting it. I still say that was faster than Zeld's. Plus, also she has the advantage of maintaining her low health.
Since she didn't need to reload. That's definitely an advantage. Alright. Yeah, she actually has to pay attention to that Lizalfos to not get killed by it.
Yeah, we don't want to die just yet. We need to wait like an extra 10 seconds.
Yeah, we need to save first.
Right now, Zeldz is currently a little bit ahead. Just farther ahead in the dungeon by like 1 back in time segment. Depending on how Scaldera goes and how some other endgame stuff goes, it's still anybody's race at this point.
Yeah, this isn't over just yet.
Yeah, but right now Zeldz is sitting on a pretty decent lead at this point. Going up to get the boss key.
Well, basically, yeah, we're a little bit past the halfway mark in here.
Already? Wow. Yeah, back in time, single-handedly just gets rid of like 4 hours of the speedrun. With just back in time and the other glitches that are associated with it. Which is very nice, especially for restream purposes. Would not be fun to have commentators here for 6 hours. Yeah, so Zeld's inserting the boss key as Pippy is raising the bridge. Also D. Everyone must post D.
Nah. I am of the anti-D fraction because I do not admit that this is a D.
Press. It's flow hot right here. Come out.
I do not spit such heresies.
So, but anyway, there's a more pressing issue than whether or not it's a D. But we don't have bombs.
What's bombs anyways? Who needs
At least
bombs?
we don't have we don't have like carryable bombs. There's no way to store them. Which...
Oh hey, look at this guy. He looks familiar.
Yeah, it's that guy that we beat up earlier. But yeah, so usually we need bombs to fight this boss. We do not have that. So any bombs that we pick up will explode in a couple of seconds. So yeah, we gotta use that time wisely to damage this boss. Maybe now safety saving.
I mean,
Ooh,
you don't want to go
was
into a Scaldera fight without safety.
True. Scaldera
There's
there's
the risk of actually soft locking your run there.
Yeah. Scaldera definitely has a much higher risk rate than G1. Yeah,
so
as
far,
you can
this
see, Zeldz
fight
rolling.
looks pretty decent.
Ooh, that was a double hit on that Skyward Strike. I'm not sure if that's going to affect anything. Ooh, that is going to affect it. That's interesting. I don't think it's possible for a tricycle now. I think that this is going to be at least a 4-cycle fight.
Ooh.
That's something that you don't see every day.
That's kind of funny. Scaldera just waiting there. Just waiting there. Like, you know, I still don't know how, but I was messing with the boss sometime, and for whatever reason he actually went past that barrier, and then he was actually completely back at the door. Still don't know how I did that.
Ooh, it's still getting a very nice 4-cycle.
Nice.
Not getting soft block, thankfully.
Alright, this is Pippy's time to catch up.
So Pippy is in a whole Scaldera fight behind.
That's actually less than she was.
Yeah. And if Pippy can get the tricycle, that would just be just all the more time. It definitely looks like she's going to be trying to go for a tricycle.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. That's not the usual damage cycle. That's interesting.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm a little concerned.
She's got this. I believe in her. Yeah.
I am hoping this is not going to soft lock.
She's fine. I believe in her.
Okay.
Okay, now we wait.
I try to skull, sadly.
Yeah. Now we just wait for Scaldera to come back. No!
Oh, Oh,
Oh no!
that is unfortunate. Just a little too close. Oh, that is unfortunate. But thankfully, she safety saved this time.
Yeah.
So, but that's unfortunate. Getting hit on the last cycle of Scaldera. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, this is a big time loss once again, and yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I find it highly unlikely that she's gonna be able to make up this much time at this point.
Yeah, this at this point it's Zeld's race to lose. I'm not a fan of calling races too early, but at this point it really is Zeld's race to lose.
Yeah, I mean things can go wrong in Lanayru, but it's not likely that that happens very often. I say that and I'll probably jinx it. Zeldz, you can blame me if you lose. Yeah, Elden is definitely where runs could easily sway one way or the other. Yeah, G3 does still exist. That is very true.
Yeah.
So Zeld's inserting his Lanayru tablet, his Amber tablet.
Alright. Let's see how this fight goes.
Also, just looking at Pippi's splits, she did like gold her split for the Pippin RBM. So that definitely explains where she got back some time.
Yeah. Still don't think this is enough damage for a tricycle.
Yeah, it didn't really look like it. Pippi now playing it very safe, going from one end all the way to the other. Making sure she's out of the meatball's path of destruction.
Yeah. No, I usually prefer to actually look back at where Scaldera is. Just to like make sure that there's no way he's gonna roll at you. And that's that.
And a pretty nice 4 cycle.
Yeah.
At least now we're not gonna have to worry about having to fight it again.
Yeah, that is true.
The meatball is cooked. Also, one thing I forgot to mention over on Zeld's end, he has now switched from File 3 to File 1, where we will now finish out the run. So that means that we will be defeating Demise in our pajamas. Which is honestly my favorite part of this entire run.
Yeah, and something else you might have realized that that on this file we're actually completely missing the Elden Pillar.
Yes, that is true. But that's why I said the only reason why we even go to Elden is just to get to Lanayru.
Yeah.
So Elden is irrelevant at this point. So there is no such thing as the Elden region on File 1. But yeah, so now at this point, we are going to start off this wonderful chain of events that it's what I like to call the meat of this run.
The meat.
The meat.
Even though the meatball is cooked already.
Yes, the meatball is cooked, but this is just like Arby's. We have the meats in this run.
You know, I guess it makes sense since we're going back in time. We're we're cooking the meatball first, and then we're like prepping the meat.
Yeah,
you think about it makes sense.
Let's go with that. Yeah, so yeah, we are no, Kishi wasn't mean to Pippi, Scaldero was.
Yeah.
Kishi is mean to Zeldz.
Yeah. Pippi actually probably got better off at Kishi. I mean, Zeldz also got him pretty fast, but he had to reload once because he accidentally killed the keys.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, the meat of the run is a nice little thing called Early Boss Rush, which has been breaking Skyward Sword speedruns since 2020. I think that's when Early Boss Rush was discovered.
That sounds accurate.
Oh, Zeldz did the wrong bit. I was not even paying attention.
Same.
So, yeah, we're gonna be setting up methods to be able to talk to the Thunder Dragon and gain access to a boss rush minigame. And a funny thing, the developers, he went to Fair when he hasn't gone to Gorge yet. Ooh.
Oh.
Fair. Well, that's a little bit of time to gain back. Actually, there's a fair amount of time to gain back. Yeah, so the devs, when programming the game, and programming this boss rush minigame, they didn't want to create like a special like boss arena for these boss fights. They're just like, okay, let's just like set all the flags and parameters to what they would be like during this fight. Let's like actually like put them into the boss fight. Technically, this is a way of going back in time to relive these boss fights. And since we're playing on hero mode, we have access to all the boss fights, including the final boss. But sadly, beating the final boss in this minigame does not constitute beating the game. But we do the next best thing. We do have the penultimate boss. The only thing that separates these two fights is a little flag that says, hey, we're in a minigame. But if we were able to save during that fight and reload into the fight, we'd no longer be in a minigame. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. Also, what would you probably saw it on Zeldz, and once again, the generosity of the out of bounds collision in this game.
Yep, that allows us to make our way all the way over to where the Thunder Dragon usually is. Now, usually in the game, there's this whole section where the Thunder Dragon's sick, you have to heal him, which means you have to open the Gate of Time, you need the harp, you need the Master Sword, you need the digging mitts, Gust Bellows. We don't have time for any of this.
Yeah.
Like, we have lives, so we're just gonna glitch our way. We're gonna be using some shady alternative medicine to bring the Thunder Dragon back to life.
You know, I guess we have lives in quite the literal way, because we keep dying. That's why we have multiple lives. Anyways, I just keep up making weird references. Don't worry about me. Yeah, here again you can see the out of bounds collision on Pippi's end. Very nice.
Yeah, Lineru is probably the most generous with their out of bounds, all the way until they aren't, and we will see that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think I've seen like some. I definitely have seen some like out of bounds exploration videos on this game, and they actually have like an entire like Temple of Time area in the main Lanayru Desert. Or they actually have
No.
like a full Lanayru Desert in mines or something like that.
Yeah, it would be so cool if we could just go from this out of bounds area to the gorge out of bounds area.
That'd be very nice, but unfortunately the game just does not have enough memory for that, I don't think.
Yeah, it's also 2 completely different maps. So
Yeah.
we're missing a loading zone in between.
Yeah, Lanayru Caves is kind of like the crossroads of the entire Lanayru region.
Yeah, it gives you like access to every region in Lanayru. Like gorge, desert, sand sea, and mines. That's why finding caves in
And a very nice depth sync between
nice.
the two of them.
That's why that's also why finding Lanayru caves and an entrance randomizer is a nice
Oh,
thing.
this is so very cool. The synchronization. Even though Pippi's one back in time segment behind, they're still going to be doing fairly similar things. So it's interesting to see. It's also interesting just to see the side by side, because they're both doing essentially the same movement. It's interesting. Ooh, Zeld's bonking.
Oh. And you can also see here that Pippi has the better movement because she's just off Skyward faster.
And here's a funny thing. Me and Pippi kind of both started like running Skyward Sword on our own outside the community. So we both skydive with the file selection on, where everyone else in the community says that that's so cursed.
Hmm.
And yet me and Pippi decided both independently of each other that like, yeah, this is actually what we want to do. Like, this is better for us. It's fun little quirks like that between different members of a speedrunning game that are so interesting to me.
And we're back synced and Farron.
Yep.
Great.
Pippi's doing the rock RBM and Zeldz is doing Machi RBM. Alrighty. So yeah, so we're just doing a bunch of things to heal the Thunder Dragon. Right now we're getting the flag for, well, Zeldz is getting a flag for the minecart escort, which will allow us to actually be able to interact with the Thunder Dragon.
Yeah, also
Ooh, that was close. That was interesting.
we got the best character in the entire game here.
That was honestly a little scary, not gonna lie, because I think if you pick up an item or a rupee that the book goblins drop there, you screw up flags.
Yeah, that's possible, I think.
So that was a little scary, but Zeld's pulling through. So we're gonna go out of bounds one more time.
Yeah.
Alright. Zelda's also doing the second to last back in time segment of the entire game. Funnily enough, within the next half hour, we will be done.
Yeah.
Probably even sooner than that. Probably the next 20 minutes, but...
Wait, did you just say that Zeldz is doing the last back in time sequence?
Second to last.
Oh, second to last. Yeah. That's accurate. Yeah. Here, you see again, out of bounds collision.
Yeah, very generous.
But there's a catch to it, unfortunately.
Yeah, we want to get that little ridge over to the right of Zeldz. We want to get on top of that. And you're going to see that it gets smaller and smaller. To the point where we'll be able to jump off of it. So all we have to do is just go around this corner here and we can jump up. But, so you just gotta go around the corner and we can easily jump up. But the devs decided right around here.
Right around the corner.
To stop being so generous. Just before we're able to jump up. So we gotta do some janky maneuvering to jump up at an angle like that.
Alright, nice.
And then we can get up. If they had just extended that collision by just like a couple more pixels.
Yeah, also that jump might kind of look hard, but with this setup, it's actually kind of free.
I still gotta learn the setup. I've kind of just been like doing my own setup.
Really? Damn. I mean, just pull out the map and like Z target, and you're getting the correct angle.
I kind of just do like muscle memory, just putting the stick in a very certain position.
I guess that's something you can do.
Anyway, we now have a minecart.
Hey, my card.
And this is another one of my favorite parts of the run. Because this is one of the few things, this is one of the very few times in this run where you literally have nothing to do. So you just have to wait for this minecart to reach its final resting place. And yeah, it's always interesting to see what runners do with this free time where they cannot do anything else. As we saw, Zeldz was doing some Skyward strikes, doing some spin attacks, rolling around, kind of just
Whirling around at the
maneuvering.
speed of sound.
Yeah, except we don't have any places to go, and there's no rainbow, but yeah, Zeldz is taking some time to heal, which is good. And now we got some Lawnmower Simulator, let's go.
Yeah, we all get a lot of ourselves some good old auto-scroller.
Yep.
Yeah, and right when you see the screen shaking, that's when you know that you can save. Alright, there's the void out. And there's the jump.
Alright.
You know, Pippi
Now-
keeps catching up to Zeldz, though.
Yeah. We'll see what happens when we do the G3 escape. But yeah, Zeldz is now doing the last back in time segment.
Yeah,
Of the
not the
run.
long one.
Yep, this is probably the second longest. It's very similar to the one we used to get into Skyview. But we are starting a file just a little bit earlier to just get the flag for the doors opening to Skyview.
Alright. And there's the minecart for Pippi.
And Zeldz once again bonking on that corner. He really seems to love that corner.
Pippy probably doesn't have the nerves to play around anymore.
No, I think this is what she usually does. She just watches the minecart.
Yeah, if you look at the minecart like that, you just realize how slow it actually is.
Yeah. For an ancient advanced technology, it's pretty slow.
Gonna see some backwards
Also-
walking.
Also, what is it with Zelda games and having the past be super futuristic?
I don't know.
Super technologically advanced in the past and now just dirt and dust.
Getting pricked by the cactus.
Yes, neo-barbarianism.
One more prick. If the cactus wants, that is.
Alright, so now both our runners are going to be doing the last back in time segment.
Yeah, that's where you realize how long this one actually is.
Yeah. And Zeld's probably only halfway through it right now. Come on, Floha, don't fall asleep on me now.
Oh, wait,
know.
did you actually hear that?
I know it's like midnight for you, but...
Damn.
We're just getting to the good part.
Yeah, we're getting to the good part. That's true. Yeah, Zeld's gonna be doing another door warp in here.
We already know that Floha is just a degen with his sleep schedule.
Yeah, I used to be more of a degen though.
How could you be more of a degen than now? And we have instant gratification that the RBM worked.
Yeah.
Because Fi appeared.
Yeah, Fi is kind of the MVP in this run. She helps us out a lot.
In what way?
I mean, she's the one who makes the Thunder Dragon appear, and she's also the one who makes us dive off of our love wing. Like that's some pretty. That's some pretty huge things.
I mean, I think it's not. Fi does some amazing things, but I also think that so does the statue in Sealed Grounds. Because that blows up the rock, which means we don't have to get the hook beetle, or the beetle, or the slingshot.
Yeah.
So who really is the MVP? I say it's behind the temple statue.
It might also just be the Sealed Ground statue.
Anyway, here's
that we're coming up at now.
For anyone curious, right now Zeldz is hanging off of platforms. Essentially, we're manipulating Girahim, and therefore the void plane beneath him. I kind of explained this earlier. We're in a minigame. We want to get out of the minigame, so we're going to need to save and reload. And there is a bird statue at the very bottom of this arena that we can access by doing this void plane manipulation.
Yeah, we like it. You in here. Ooh. That platform has already started to rise again.
Um, yeah, that should be fine. Like you have like 1 or 2 seconds of time
Yeah.
before it really starts to affect you. Ooh, Zeld's not doing the right movement though. I don't think.
Alright,
Well,
let's take a
looks like it's
look.
gonna work though.
Okay, yeah,
works.
this was okay.
All right.
Barely, but he did it.
Yeah, that was a little interesting. It looked like he was mixing different styles of G3
Alright.
Escape.
Pippy also starting the G3 fight very soon.
So we have Escape the Simulation, as I like to call it.
We're out of the Matrix.
Yes. We are now in the real deal boss fight at the very end of the game.
And Zeld's having some trouble with the butt slide in here.
Yeah. When we save at that statue, we are trapped in an invisible box that we have to escape by jumping back in bounds and then breaking laws of physics and just jumping right back out of bounds. And Pippi making sure that her motion controls are properly calibrated, which is pretty important for this fight. We want to knock him in a certain direction.
Alright. Zeldz has successfully spawned Giram again.
Yeah, the game kind of gets angry at us for getting out of bounds, and it sends the security guard known as Giram after us.
Yeah, and now Giram has the high ground.
And we'll just knock him back into bounds, and it's a little lonely out of bounds, so we just join him.
Yeah, well, we're just zooming over to him.
And now we continue to fight more or less like normal.
Except that we only have like a toothpick as a sword.
Yeah, we have the second weakest sword in the game. So the fight's gonna be much longer than it would normally be in a vanilla playthrough of the game. And Pippi also getting first try G3 escape.
Nice, you love to see it.
I will note that both our runners are also
Zelda?
one hit away from death.
Struggling a little bit with the first phase in here. Yeah, and the second phase is definitely the hardest.
Yes. As once again, we are one hit away from death, and some of his attacks are a little harder to dodge, while also dealing enough damage to him. Usually we only have to hit him like 5 or 6 times. Here we hit him like 23 times or something like that.
A few times.
Ooh, and Zeld's missing the Skyward stab. Zeld's... There we go.
Right, so basically, if Zeldz dies now, then Pippi has the upper hand. But we don't want to see that.
Yeah, no, we want some good clean fights. Those darts are always very scary when you're one hit from death.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was
Ooh!
Zeldz, stop. Stop, you're scaring us. A little too early on that Skyward stab.
Yeah.
Going for the pause buffering strat.
Pippi struggling and getting him up on the fence. There he is. Alright, there's the stun lock.
And a fairly
Alright.
decent phase 2 for Zeldz.
Yeah, wretched brat.
You wretched brat. And at least that's what he says in English anyway. In Japanese, I believe it translates to that little boy there.
That little boy there.
Yeah, so now we have to. This phase is a little bit easier, but it is still possible to get hit here if you are not careful.
I didn't curse Pippi at all.
Yeah, Pippi has definitely like brought it to be a much closer race with her good execution.
Yeah. Unfortunately, her dying to Scaldera and dying to the spider in Skyview were just a little too much.
And now we are at the final boss demise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, it looks like we're gonna be going to a game 3 tonight.
Yep, we sure are.
I would say that's a jinx, but demise really is not that long of a fight.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna take a couple more of those to turn this.
Also, shout out to Tobias gifting a sub to Crystal.
Yes, thank you all for lining the pockets of Trez.
No!
Oh, no, Pippi! Oh, that is unfortunate. That is probably one of the worst places to die.
Oh well. I mean, at this point, it's over.
Yeah.
That was basically the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. But it was still a very good attempt by both of our runners.
Yeah.
Like, there were definitely, like, shortcomings on both sides. Zeldz was lagging behind at a good point for a moment.
Yeah, I think if Pippi plays this safe, she's got this.
Yeah. Although,
okay,
oh.
Zeldz, what was that? I was like, wait, that's not how you normally fight the mice. And before I look at it, he's dead.
Zeldz. I mean, like I said, it's gonna take a lot more of those to change anything at this point.
I'm not cursing anyone!
If anything, I'm the one that's cursing people.
Stop accusing me of cursing people, Crystal.
The only one that curses people is Betrayal, and he warns you. Oh no, technically Demise does curse you as well.
Yeah, kinda does.
Okay, phase 1 done with.
Alright. Alright, here comes phase 2. And that's GG's. What the hell, Golden? Stop putting quotes in my mouth that I never said.
And that is a time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 24 seconds.
Yeah,
For
definitely not the best time Zeldz has ever gotten.
It's funny how I said we'd be done with it in half an hour, and it ended up being 20 minutes. Like maybe even 20 minutes, but things can go wrong. Yeah, so that means that we will go to a game 3.
Yeah, and as far as I'm informed, that will be happening right now.
Yeah.
As soon as Pippi finishes.
Yes.
If she's actually finishing.
At this point, I would say she's finishing because
it looks
they're in
like
a voice call together. So
like she's intent on killing Girahim. At the
I mean,
very least.
at this point, if you've gotten this far,
Yeah.
like might as well. And
All right, and there's another. You wretched brat.
You wretched brat. Honestly felt like a little bit of dinner come up from that one. You bothersome sausage.
Damn.
All right.
And soon TM. All right, that's the last hit.
Yeah. So just a little bit of behind the scenes of what goes on for Skyward Sword speedrunners. The process of resetting a run is fun. Because we play on hero mode, which is usually only obtainable if you have already beaten the game. And once you delete a save file, you can't get that hero mode file back. So we have to have saves on our system that are used for speedrunning that has 2 blank hero mode files. And so every time we want to reset a run, we have to exit to the Wii menu, we have to go into our save files, we have to delete the save file off of our Wii, go to the SD card, copy the save file from the SD card to the Wii, and then we can start another run. And that's even worse if you're somehow playing on Wii U Virtual Console, which is the version that I play on, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
The slowest version of the game.
Feels bad, man.
It was
GG's
$20.
to Pippi. Finishing with a time of 1:32:15.
Very nice. GG's to both.
GG's for actually finishing this run.
But yeah, so
it was a run and a half.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't very interesting run. So yeah, so now we're going to load up our files to run again.
And yeah, while they do that, I'm gonna take a short break and I'll be right back.
Sounds good. But yeah, we now see Zeldz loading up his files. He's using homebrew. Don't tell Nintendo. Don't tell Mr. Miyamoto. Like Miyamoto would not like it. And yeah, time to get ready to start again. Yeah, as I was saying, for anyone who is bold enough to run on the Wii U Virtual Console, you have to load up your Wii U. You have to go to the Wii menu from the Wii U, and then you need to go to your save files, copy everything over, like I mentioned. Then you need to go back to the Wii U menu, and then you have to select your Skyward Sword Virtual Console copy.
So while they're doing that real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the out, cut the stream real quick so I can change all the back end stuff, and then put us back up and back up to where we are. So give us like about a minute or so, and we'll be back up. But we're going to go off for about that amount of time.
I'll see you guys in a minute then.